The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by the Marticelli Restaurant Group, TKO Hospitality, and by Ward & Taylor.
And welcome back. Saturday afternoon, the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic, back live here from the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington. Nick Alessandrini, look who I found, the coach Bill Harmon joining me back here courtside again, right back like you never left. And we are here now in the preface of a boys matchup here, game number 2 of a 5-game slate here on day 2 of a Saturday. And coach, we have now Odessa and Conrad, going to be a good one to kick off our boys action here today on a Saturday. 2 teams I think that are almost evenly matched here. Should be a good game.
I think that's a great call, and good to see you here this afternoon, Nick. We had a lot of fun last night, a couple of good ball games, one earlier, and now we have 2 teams that I think are not only evenly matched, but they got some really good players. Both are well coached. They've been playing much better of late, so I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. Conrad needs this victory very badly. They have not been struggling, but they haven't been playing their best basketball of late, but I'll tell you what, they've got a lot of upside. Odessa, who I've seen on tape, is a pretty formidable team with some really good athletes.
There you have it. You've seen that schedule here for the rest of the day. Conrad, Odessa here at 2, and then 3 more to take us home. Ursuline and Friends girls at 4, St. George's and Smyrna at 6, and then the finale, 8 o'clock, Sally's and Sanford boys will finish us off Saturday night. And of course, we are all here for a bigger reason than basketball, and that is, of course, to raise mental health awareness, all stemming from the tragedy of the loss of our great friend Sean Locke back in 2018. And now here we are 8 years later, and just to see the growth of the SL24, Sean's house, Unlock the Light. I mean, it has been just so much just fun and just a happy thing to see here in these last couple years. I mean, truly a remarkable, groundbreaking organization, something so positive coming from something so negative.
It's such a pleasure and an honor for me to be here and be able to call these games and be a very small part of this wonderful organization that Chris Locke leads, and certainly in the memory of his son, who I coached and then called games for at the University of Delaware. So I have a very close relationship with the family and the foundation, and it's just a great time to be here and to talk about Sean and be able to call all these great high school games. Absolutely right, and there are multiple ways that you can make an impact, whether you're here at the Chase Fieldhouse or you're at home checking out all the action there. So again, you can donate with the QR code. You'll see that up on your screen. You see that now. Every time you see that, why don't you scan it, and that's take you to the page to make a donation. That's your easiest way to make an impact, is scanning that QR code right there. And again, if you're able to get in the building or you want to head online, you can also have the auction and over 90 items as well available there until the end of tonight. And now it's time for tip-off just around the corner. Before we get started, we'll send it over to Brian Corey at the scores table for a prayer and national anthem.
The Odessa Ducks. At this time, we ask you please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we honor America and all that serve and protect our freedom, both at home and abroad, with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hallelujah.
now almost time for tip-off here. Game number 2 on a Saturday of your SL24, the 8th annual. And it's time for Conrad and Odessa to kick off our boys' action today. Nick Allison journey alongside the coach, Bill Harmon. And coach, last night we had a chance to see the Spartans and DMA on the boys' side of things. To cap off our Friday night, it was all Spartans led by head coach Lonnie Wright. Dylan Wright, a big impact in that game last night as well. And now today, our first taste of the guys comes with Odessa and Conrad.
Well, this Conrad team is really well coached by Chris McLean. They're 6-6. He's a veteran. This is a very physical team that wants to play at an up-tempo. They've played 5 out-of-state games, struggled a little bit, 1-4 record, and in 5-point games or less, they're 1-2. So they really need to get off to a good start. They've got an outstanding scorer in Vincent Starr, but I really like Ramirez, the senior point guard. He can run the show. He's very physical, does a great job of driving the ball, and this is a very well-rounded, tough-minded team.
Getting through starting lineups here right now. We'll get you Odessa. It starts with the freshman, Kion Wilborn, then followed by Zion Reddick, Jair Stewart, William Warfield, and Jarvis Watson. Those are your starting Odessa Ducks. And coach, we talked about Odessa a little bit early on off the air, and again, just in their 6th year overall as a high school here in the state of Delaware, and a beautiful school down there in the area. Oregon Ducks with the whole theme there with the yellow and green. And what have you noticed here about Odessa since their inception a few years ago?
Well, Odessa's gotten better and better every year. This is a free-running team. They want to get up and down the court. They're very fluid. Coach Andre Wilborn and his freshman son, who does a really good job as a distributor. He can shoot the 3, but I'll tell you what, their veteran, William Warfield, can score it. He's their leading scorer, leads them second in threes, and a really good foul shooter. This is a team that wants to play up and down the court, so a nice matchup for Conrad, and we'll see ultimately here, it could be a 3-point shooting battle. There is no one better in the state from the 3-point line than Vincent Starr of Conrad. He knows how to get to his spots, and his teammates know how to find him.
Now I'll get you Conrad starters, and you mentioned Marcel Ramirez, the senior, out there to help lead the way for the Red Wolves. Justin Webb, you mentioned Vinny Starr as well. Carter Bartkowski will be jumping up for the Red Wolves at half court, and rounding out the starting lineup, the senior Jordan Kennedy. And we are off and running. Game 2 on a Saturday afternoon. The SL24 continues on.
Odessa's going to play very aggressive man. They'll pick you up just over the half court. They don't play a lot of help, and they switch a lot out on the perimeter.
How about that finish to get started? Red Wolves, they strike first. Jordan Kennedy able to put it on the floor, get inside, and finish.
Kennedy is a very physical off guard. He can put it on the floor with a great first step, a good rebounder as well. You got to watch him in close.
He got it inside on the block to Jarvis Watson. And knocked down a play. Will stay down that side with the Odessa Ducks. You mentioned it, led by head coach Andre Wilborn. Chris McLean leading the way on the bench for the Conrad Red Wolves.
Chris has done a great job in his tenure over at Conrad. He's really restored a lot of the old-fashioned play, physical toughness, great skill, and also development of his players.
Loose ball there on the floor. Coming out of the pack with it is Vinny Starr. Quickly up ahead now as the Red Wolves look to strike. A 3 off the hand of Justin Webb. That one was halfway down. Offensive rebound to Bartkowski amongst 3 Ducks, and he's able to put it back up and through.
Bartkowski is a really tough power forward. He runs the court extremely well. He's a stretch 4. He can step out and shoot the 3, but really his game is inside, wreaking havoc on the offensive glass, and a really good defensive rebounder, and he runs the court extremely well.
Stepping on the line as Odessa turns it over. William Warfield stepped on the far sideline. It'll be ball back to the Conrad Red Wolves. 6:54 to go as you check out here the putback on the offensive glass. Bartkowski putting in the work underneath.
And he is really solid inside, has excellent hands, and can play through contact.
Great crowd behind us here for game number 2. Vinny Starr, he's hit from behind. And one opportunity as the Red Wolves able to put a couple field goals here early on in the first quarter. Starr, you mentioned a 3-point prowess, and now a chance to do it the old-fashioned way.
Vinny Starr does a really nice job of moving off the ball. He reads screens extremely well. They took advantage of the denial defense, the aggressive defense without any help of Odessa, and a wonderful pass off a set play by Jordan Kennedy, who got the defense leaning. Starr does a great job of faking like he's going to come out for the 3 and then backdoor to a cleared weak side. A beautiful set play. Coach Chris McLean.
Able to convert, but how about Bartkowski once again hitting the offensive glass? And that should be a backcourt violation. And it was.
Once you've established control in the front court, you cannot throw in the backcourt, even though it was only about a half a foot over. Kennedy was standing in the backcourt. A good call by this officiating crew.
Odessa Duck basketball now here after the turnover here. It's the SL24 Basketball Classic here back at the Chase Fieldhouse. This three is out, around, and out for Turk Wilburn. Coach's son, and he's able to steal it back here. Wilburn getting up ahead. Star got a piece of it.
Well, Wilburn is a really smart player. He did a good job there of anticipating the second pass after the outlet. He's going to do that. It's one thing Odessa does a nice job of, is they'll kind of forecheck in the field, and he will step up and make some of those interceptions reading the pass. Smart young player.
Here's Wilburn again. Thought about it now. Passes off to Stewart. Wilburn able to get it back in the corner. Tries to go cross court. He does. To Warfield.
Odessa plays a 5-out. Even though they have some size, they don't go into the post very often. What they do sometimes is spread you, try to go backdoor like Conrad did, and then also do some high ball screening.
Timeout on the floor with 5:59 to go. First quarter, 6-0 in favor of the Red Wolves, who start off the game on a 6-0 run. A three-point play from, an and one opportunity for Vinny Starr, and then a few big buckets for Bartkowski as he was hitting the offensive glass. So now, while we have a moment, let's talk about how ways you can donate here as we are in the 8th annual SL24 in day 2 here on a Saturday. It's again our final day to try to make a huge impact. Again, $674,324 raised last year, so we have to up that. We have raised more money each and every year we have been here, and now in year 8 we got to get up over that $675,000 mark. Over $2.9 million have been raised since the start of the SL24 in just 7 years. There's that QR code. You see it. That's the easiest way to make an impact. Take out your phone, scan that code. That'll take you where you need to be to make your donation. Out of the timeout, it'll be Turk Wilburn here controlling it as Conrad settling in to a zone look here defensively.
And they play some 1-3-1 from time to time. It's really meant to distract the team, get them to set up a little bit slower and try to confuse them. Typically, they are a man-to-man, very aggressive pressing team.
Marking it around the perimeter here. It's Reddick. Inside out, back to Wilburn here. Quick pass inside. Turning, fading, shooter's roll. It's good for Zion Reddick.
Reddick did a nice job there of using the softness of these rims down here at the Chase Fieldhouse. That bounced around. I talked about it last night. It sounds like the old Boston Garden.
Driving here was Jordan Kennedy. And he lost it, I believe, out of bounds. And ball going to go to Odessa here as the Red Wolves turn it over. 6-2 lead for Conrad.
Odessa does not play a lot of help, but they're very good with their individual man-to-man skills. That time, well defended as they drove him out of bounds. Kennedy, usually a better ball handler than that, just took it into a bad space and turned it over.
Now they get it to the baseline. Watson kicks it out, going to lead to a 3 for Warfield, off the mark, and a big rebound for Vinny Starr, who immediately puts it on the floor. Starr trying to go coast to coast. Nice feed to Bartkowski underneath, couldn't finish it, contested by Zion Reddick. And then a whistle here as we have some bodies hit the deck. Last touched by Odessa, so Starr and the Red Bulls went down under the basket.
What a luxury when you're off guard, can handle the ball that quickly. Progress it up the court, give a nice pass to Bartkowski on the baseline, just couldn't quite finish.
Here's Starr, 3 a little bit long, great box out underneath from Jarvis Watson as Bartkowski's been dominating the glass so far, and a good box out there is going to get the whistle and the foul over the back.
That set play that Conrad runs on out of bounds under is very successful. It's what they call America's play, since everybody runs in Odessa unaware of what was happening. Starr got a wide open 3, and if he gets that shot, he is going to make that more often than not.
Starr, I believe he's in the Venice Beach Kobe's out there today, Coach. You like that?
Very fancy to me. As you know, I care way more about their play than what they look like. Starr has 38 threes on the season and is their leading scorer.
Into the game now for the Odessa Ducks, Aiden Scott, the junior, number 4 on the far side. Warfield, a little hesitation, got the defender off his feet a little bit, created some space and knocked down the mid-range jump shot.
Warfield, their leading scorer. I like the pace of play. He's under control, knows how to pull up into the mid-range. Smart player, a senior.
Kennedy to the basket, threw a couple dunks, couldn't finish. Rebound to Watson. And almost taken away in the backcourt, but we have an official's timeout. I believe here.
I think Odessa was very fortunate there in the sense that that play was stopped. I think that was going to be a steal. Unfortunately, Carter Burkowski limps off the court, whether it's his ankle or a lower body injury. He's a player they really need. He provides them with a lot of physicality and energy.
Anton James in the game for Burkowski. And there's James there trying to put a body on a player. And the offensive rebound goes to the Ducks. Warfield missed the first one. Watson couldn't get the second. And now the loose ball ends up into the hands of the Red Wolves. Yeah, that time Kennedy tried to get it to Vinny Scott, who was trailing just a little bit, overshot him out of bounds.
A little bit of over-enthusiasm by Conrad trying to force the ball up the court. They did have a numbers advantage, but Odessa, to their credit, rallied back very quickly in transition to create the turnover.
A good one so far. Conrad got out to a 6-0 lead, and then now a 4-0 small run here for Odessa. With 3:20 to go, first quarter action. Here's Wilburn outside on the perimeter. Baseline kicks back out here. Wilburn looking to the baseline. Nice finds to Warfield. Backdoor open, finished off.
That was a terrific pass by the freshman, Kayon Wilburn. Found his teammate backdooring on the far side. He's a lefty and whipped a left-handed pass across his body. What a terrific play by the freshman.
I believe out of bounds, or stepping out of bounds there, was Kennedy, or Ramirez. Great defense by Odessa to force the turnover. We're all tied at 6, under 3 to go in the first quarter. Ball back to the Ducks here on day 2 of the 8th annual SL24. And again, Coach Sean's house opened back on October 1st, 2020. And since then, how about these numbers? Over 45,000 visitors through the door, 120,000 people educated by the SL24 programs about mental health and suicide. Over 4,900 sessions with peer support specialists and 380 peer specialists themselves that have been trained to support others, and they have been over 198 active crises served. Again, just what a job's been done. And speaking of which, we've got a special guest who's with Barnett, who's playing free safety for us. He's roaming around here at the Fieldhouse. Barnett, who you got?
Absolutely. I am joined by the one and only Aiden Locke, younger brother of Sean Locke. Aiden, how are you enjoying the 8th annual Unlock the Light tournament?
It's been great so far. We've seen a lot of great basketball games, and there's still more to come tonight. So I'm really looking forward to watching all those.
Now, as someone who's both played in this and now watching, what are you excited to see about the growth over the years of this tournament from both standpoints?
Yeah, I'm excited to see more teams, more schools get involved. It's just a great experience for both everybody who comes and watches the games as well as everybody who plays in the games. You give them kind of a spotlight. So I'm sure they love it. I loved it when I was playing in it. And yeah, it's cool to see it grow every year to something bigger.
And in 2026, how are you aiming to protect your mental health? What are some of the things that you like to do to just like make sure you take care of your own mental health?
Yeah, I do my best to be aware of how I'm feeling and when I need to take a break. I've learned some great breathing exercises for when I get anxious that have really helped me. But a lot of it is just being aware and not trying to fight it, but just accept it and work with it.
Absolutely. Now, St. Mark's had the floor last night. Who are you excited to see today?
I'm really excited to see the Sallies versus Sanford game. It's going to be the last game of the night. They got 2 great teams this year, and I'm excited to see them duke them out on the court.
Absolutely. Nick, I'm kicking it back to you. This is Barnett Harris live in free safety position.
How about that? I love having Barnett be able to roam the field like that out there, able to talk with Aiden Locke. Again, former basketball player there at St. Mark's, Sean's brother. He's wearing that sold out baby blue crew neck over from the merch table. You can't get that one, unfortunately, but a lot of other things, short and long sleeve tees, crew necks, quarter zips, hoodies, hats, polo shirts, you name it, much more. You can get them here throughout the field house or head on over to unlockthelight.com. Lock with an E.
After a slow start, Odessa's really battled back. Their defense has helped them, creating a number of turnovers, and their bigs inside have played very well. Everybody's been able to touch the ball and score. Conrad back into it now, a 2-3 zone, trying to confuse Odessa here in the last seconds of the first quarter.
How about those? You see the sweatshirts there, long sleeves. And I'll be making my way there after this one, or maybe at the half. A whistle here on the baseline and a foul.
Always a man in look of a good deal, right? Looking for a good deal.
That's right. It's for a great cause. Why not? I might have to get a couple now that I no longer have one myself. A whistle and a foul, and now some free throws coming for the Odessa Ducks and the junior Aiden Scott. Now we're going the other way.
Officials got that right with good communication by this crew to make sure they got the call going the correct way. Conrad ball here, probably going to hold for one shot. Odessa in a zone themselves for the first time this afternoon.
See if Conrad a chance here to take the lead at the end of the first. 20 seconds and winding. Here's Vinny Scott on the perimeter. Tried to kick it to Ramirez and just lost it in and out of the hands. And now that gives the Ducks a chance at the final shot with 15.7 to go in the first.
Good change up of defense. Andre Wilburn, the head coach, started in a matchup 2-3 zone and then went to man-to-man, and that confused Conrad, who played a little too fast there on that split and kick.
9 seconds here for the Ducks. Here's Turk Wilburn. Watson inside out. Leads to Scott. 3 will count. No good. Offensive rebound battled for. And not going to get it to go, but doing work was Javon Truitt. And that'll take us to the end of the first, and it was an action-packed back and forth quarter to kick off our boys' action here today. 10-9 after one. Odessa out in front of Conrad's second quarter action, and a special guest up here joining us after the break.
After I saw the impact that Sean's room was having on so many Spartans, we had the idea to do more Sean's rooms.
People will go to Sean's room just to do their homework or sit down and relax to get out of class, sometimes just to grab a snack and like reset your day.
If we can get through to 5, 10, 15 kids, get their anxiety under control, it will spare them the pain and suffering that I went through as an active alcoholic. Mental health has to be the thing that they put first every day that they get out of bed.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by Platinum Dining Group, Big Red's Digital Skyboard, BTL Foundation, and by CBM Insurance.
And welcome back live at the Chase Fieldhouse. Through one quarter of action here in Game 2 on a Saturday, Odessa and Conrad back and forth. The Ducks leading the Red Wolves 10-9 as we welcome you here courtside at the SL24. Nick Alessandrini, the coach Bill Harmon, and now we have a special guest here, the former peer director at the SL24 in Sean's house, Allie Burns. Allie, thanks for joining us here.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're thrilled to be able to talk with you, so let's just get right into it here.
Yeah.
Last night, 2 great games, a lot of fun, a big crowd here here to support the SL24, and now 5 more here today. Going to be another fun day all day here in Wilmington. How's it been for you since the start of last night?
It's been great. So I actually drove up from North Carolina last night, so I missed everything then, but I've been here since early this morning, so it's been nice to be back. It's good to be home.
So where at in North Carolina?
I'm in Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill, okay, there you go.
Yes, big basketball school.
That is very true. I went to Elon, not too far from there, so made the trip, and you got in what time this morning?
Got in around 11, so doors open.
There you go, right in.
Yep.
Well, we're glad you're able to make the trip up from North Carolina here to join us here on a Saturday. And just what's it like to be back here at this event for you?
It's been wonderful. I think just the combination of how much new there is and how much growth you see with the organization combined with everyone that really feels like home, being able to see a lot of the students that I met at St. Mark's, now going to the University of Delaware is super exciting, and obviously seeing everyone from the house and how much growth there's been. It's really a special community that they've built here.
And now you were with Sean's House back when it opened in 2020 all the way until 2024. How did your experience at Sean's House inspire you to pursue your MSW, and what has it been like with that work that motivated you to go deeper into that social aspect of work here?
Yeah, so starting at Sean's House in 2020 was just really shaped a lot of my college career, not only community-wise and feeling a part of Delaware, since Delaware isn't home for me naturally, but just being able to kind of establish myself here in school and also just kind of get some real-life experience in the mental health field. I think there's a lot of pressure in college, like get an internship, try and figure out what you want to do after school, and especially with mental health services, it's hard to get a taste for that and what it's really going to be like. So it was nice to be able to be at Sean's House as a peer, get to know what it was like to be in the room with someone that was asking for support, and also obviously advocating for that as a student athlete myself, and also just on a state level when I started working more with the house.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan Kennedy at the line here for Conrad. A big three to start the quarter for Odessa. They lead 13-10. Nick Alcindrino alongside the coach Bill Harmon. We're joined with Allie Burns. And Allie, we mentioned you started back when Sean's House opened in 2020. What have you noticed about the evolution and the growth of Sean's House, the SL24, as this three is off the mark? But what have you noticed with just the evolution of this entire organization, all these events, and just mental health awareness?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really remarkable what the organization has been able to do, especially integrating in with the University of Delaware and just being such a service to that population, and then also how much work they're doing in the schools. I mean, as someone who, with my degree right now, is working with kids and just young adults, I think their ability to integrate into the schools and make it so that it's something so accessible, not only like emotionally accessible to get somewhere and not have to like go through as many layers of asking for support, but also even to just have it, like, students are busy these days. They have a million extracurriculars. They have so many expectations on them. So being able to be in the schools, I think, is something that's really powerful that they've been able to nail down.
Absolutely.
Allie, is there any organization like the SL24 down in Chapel Hill?
Not really. I mean, I honestly, and I would say more than just in Chapel Hill, I have never been able to hear of anything quite like it. It's really amazing what they've been able to do, and just being so community mental health while also having such an element of like community and just a feeling of home, making it really not feel like as sterile as some of the other services around is special.
So how would a young person who might be having some difficulty, what type of help would they seek at a university or in a community like Chapel Hill where you didn't have an organization like the SL24 or a Sean's House?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of community mental health resources that are out there. A lot of universities, luckily at this point, have CAP services or like psychological services through the school. I think that organizations like Sean's House really help for people to start like eliminating the stigma around mental health and asking for help, which is hopefully making those services more accessible in reality. But I think there's always going to be that hiccup. It's really hard to get to the point where you're willing to ask for help, which I think is so much of what we're all fighting for now.
How have you found the Deep South living in?
You know,
you enjoy the food and the pace of life?
I know I've got like 3 places to get a biscuit within half a mile of my apartment.
Biscuitville? You got Biscuitville down there?
I got Biscuitville. We got Flying Biscuit.
Are you a grits eater?
I am a grits eater,
Good for you.
But I have a lot of lakes around me, have time outside, time on the water.
And I'm sorry, I might have missed it. What are you doing down in Chapel Hill?
Yeah, so I'm in graduate school, so I'm getting my master's in social work at the University of North Carolina.
Well done.
So thank you.
Great university and obviously a great profession to be moving into.
Thank you. Yes, it's been great.
13 all here, 6 minutes to go. First half as we are again joined by Allie Burns. And Allie, what advice would you give maybe to some students or young professionals interested in pursuing social work or peer support like yourself?
Yeah, I really do feel like for anyone that's interested in trying to learn more about it and see what it would be like or feel like as a professional, getting experience providing peer support is such a great option. Not only is it a really great opportunity, for me at least it was, to use my own lived experience and like on a personal level made a really big impact. But I think beyond that, even just seeing what it's like to be in that situation, it can be a lot emotionally to support someone. And so I think trialing that in a safe space that's well supported and that you have training for is really great. At least in social work, it's been really wonderful to just kind of have that experience of navigating everything from just making someone comfortable in a space to navigating a crisis, which is the experience that you get at Sean's house. And now in my master's, it has been a great opportunity. I've had a couple of different internships, one working more clinically in the hospital and one outpatient with kids doing play therapy. So kind of getting the whole spectrum of things now. But I mean, I could not be more thrilled with the choice that I made. I think getting a master's is a really exciting opportunity and does put you in the field pretty quickly. So.
Now you see yourself staying down south after you graduate or coming back home?
I do. Home for me is Northern Virginia, so it's kind of in the middle from up here. So I went north for undergrad. I got recruited to row up at the University of Delaware. So that's what brought me up here. And then after my year working at the house full time, going back down. So I do see myself staying down there. It's great.
Were you in a 4, a 2, an 8? What were you in?
I was in an
single?
8 for the most part. Yeah, so we did 8s and 4s in college. So we spent a lot of time in 8s, which I love. They go fast. Makes it a little bit easier. And I love everything about being on a team.
We talk about team sports, but I'm not sure there is one better team sport than crew. Everyone has to be in sync, other than the single, by the way. And that person has to be in sync by themselves. But I've always greatly admired male and female crew members because of the dedication, the cardiovascular shape they have to be in, and then just the cohesiveness of the crew.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Was something that I started later, so I started in high school and just really fell in love with it as an opportunity to just find community and just be part of something that makes you feel like you're something bigger than yourself.
I had the opportunity at work to work with a trader who was at one time the Cox of the Harvard 8 that I believe won Henley.
Yes.
And I always admired him. I mean, he was a tough dude. Now, though he didn't row, of course, as you well know, but he did everything else to condition and all that. This guy was a really impressive person, and I always admired him for his work on his crew team.
Yes, I think our coxswains deserve way more respect than they get. Yeah. They keep all the rest of us in line, which is probably a harder job than just pulling on an oar. So
you guys are speaking a foreign language to me right now.
I think they're both pretty difficult. Yeah. I've always loved just the competitiveness and the fact that you have to be so precise in your stroke, and the cadence has to be perfect, and to be able to up your cadence at certain times during the race is magnificent.
Yes, I am definitely thankful to not be on the water with the weather how it's been recently. It gets cold out there, but.
Did you ever race at the head of the Charles?
I did.
Did you? Oh, wonderful.
A few years, yeah. It's a.
Now, how about the Henley? Did you get over there?
Not quite. That would have been.
That would have been the ultimate goal.
Yes. But even coming up here, like going back down to North Carolina, it is not as common. So I took for granted how many people know about rowing up here, how important the Schuylkill is to the community here. So it's definitely interesting being a little bit further south, a little bit further away from the heart of it.
Now, do you still do any crew?
I don't. I switched over to, I started running after graduation. So I ran the New York City Marathon actually for
good for you.
Thank you.
This year?
Not this year. So the past 22 and 23. I ran raising money for Release Recovery Foundation, which is actually an organization that partnered with the house. So I got to know them through Sean's house. But I ran up in New York for those 2 years and have now kind of transitioned into indoor cycling. So.
What was the hardest part of the marathon for you?
The running.
I really meant more of the part of the race. I lived in New York for 17 years, so I used to. That was always a really fun weekend to hang out and watch the races.
Yes, I'm not a runner. I did it for the fundraising, so for me it was definitely a shock to the system to be running for that long. The bridges are a little bit brutal. I am a very social person and thrive off of being around people. So with a city like that, most of the time when you're off the bridges, there's people everywhere just cheering for you. But being on the bridges, having it be pretty quiet, it's you, yourself, and your headphones or your own thoughts. It's pretty brutal.
I guess getting into Central Park had to be a pretty good thrill. The fact you were still moving and you knew that the end was maybe not quite in sight yet, but certainly within the ability to finish. Good for you.
Yes. I would say my favorite was Brooklyn. They had, I think, the best cheering section of all
No
the
kidding.
boroughs.
Interesting.
So-
Wow.
Big three that time from the sophomore Justin Webb puts Conrad up for 2:27 to go first half, 21-17. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon, and we're joined by special guest Allie Burns. And Allie, man, you've been at Sean's house as the peer leader from 2020 to 2024, and now you're talking to us. Now you're down at North Carolina working on your masters, as Vinny Scott able to put that one up and in. So how do you think the Classic helps support students who comes to Sean's house during a crisis or in need of guidance here, just an event like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like the very obvious part of just how much support financially that the community is able to gather and provide to the nonprofit is just amazing, and honestly something that I was always in awe of. I mean, Delaware really comes together to provide support, to provide scholarships for people to get mental health services, and just to keep the space running as it is so that it can be welcoming and so that we can keep sharing the message. But I think on a bigger level too is that having people like Kat Locke and like Chris Locke and like Zach Ryan just come onto the floor and talk about really real topics and things that people are really struggling with, and just every time we can bring awareness to what's going on in so many people's lives but isn't talked about nearly enough, and isn't talked about enough for people to feel like they can ask for help. I think anytime we're able to bring light to that, it really does make a difference for people to be able to make that step to walk into the house and to ask for help. It's one thing to try and figure out where you can go, but it's a lot more of a challenge, I think, to actually admit to yourself and to someone else that you need help. So I think the fact that so many people are going to walk out of this building with merch that talks about what Sean's house is, with a story to come back from, hearing other people's story and being able to encourage people to continue caring for themselves and caring for the people they love.
Absolutely, very well said. And again, just so much strides have been taken, just in society as a whole, obviously over these last years. And here you see that QR code on your screen at home. Make sure you take out your phone, scan that code. That'll take you to the donation page, and that's how you can make an impact. We've got to get to our goal of $675,000, but again, that's just the goal. We can exceed that, so let's get there. Last year we raised $674,324. Again, we got to do better than that. We've done better each and every year. Here we are in year 8. Let's get the best one yet. Again, over $2.9 million raised in the last 7 years. As Warfield puts that one back up and in. 25-19 as we wind down first half action. So, Allie, when you're done the second quarter here, what's next for you here for the rest of the day?
I'm just going to be taking it all in. It's been really nice to be able to get to catch up with everyone. I think I got my merch already, so that's
right, the sold-out light blue crew neck, I heard.
I know, well, and it's Carolina blue. They don't want to admit that that's why, but I've got my Carolina blue merch to bring back home. Definitely just taking in the basketball. I always love the end of the night game and just all the magic that happens here, but it'll definitely be nice to sit back and just enjoy the community.
Big three from Aiden Scott at the buzzer. And what was a back-and-forth action-packed first half with Odessa and Conrad. Allie, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It's fantastic.
Nice to see you again.
And have a great rest of your day. We'll see you here around the Chase Fieldhouse.
Absolutely. Thanks.
A big first half has come to a close here. 27-22 Red Wolves over the Odessa Ducks. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the start of quarter number 3 here at the 8th annual SL24. Don't go anywhere. A full day of basketball ahead.
Hi, I'm Carl Dridge, founder and CEO of Platinum Dining Room, a Delaware-based hospitality group that's been serving the Mid-Atlantic region since 1996, and I'd like to personally welcome you to our collection of restaurants. For nearly 30 years, Platinum Dining Group has had the privilege of serving millions of guests throughout the area. What began as a single idea has grown into a family of distinctive dining rooms, each with its own personality, food style, and ambition, but all rooted in the same commitment to unparalleled hospitality. Today, that commitment is brought to life by more than 500 dedicated professionals who show up every day with pride, passion, and an unwavering attention to detail. Our goal has always been simple: to create genuine and memorable experiences. Whether it's handmade pasta at Capers and Lemons, a coal-fired pizza from Taverna, or a sizzling red fire steak, every dish, every drink, and every moment is carefully considered. It's more than just food, it's about the connection. So allow me this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for inviting us into your lives for 30 years. Whether it's a cozy dinner, a milestone celebration, or just something in between, thank you for allowing us to be part of your story, our story, the Platinum Dining Room story.
The time I faced adversity was when I dislocated my kneecap. It put me out for the rest of my senior season, so that was the last time I'll ever touch a basketball. Basketball has honestly brought me my best friends. It's taught me how to move through adversity and how to push through hard things.
My cousin died. It was hard times, but I just talked to my family about it and just got through adversity, pushed through. We just kept talking and showing love to each other, just show how much we meant to each other. It helped me on the basketball court, know who I'm playing for, just thinking about him, and even with our family, it just make me think I love him and I don't know what I would do without him.
When I was in third grade, my parents, they got a divorce. It was a tough time for me. I faced a lot of adversity I had to push through. I really relied on my family.
I faced adversity when my parents separated and kind of just broke me, and I just felt like I didn't have a safe space at home to just feel all my feelings, and I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it. Basketball was just an outlet where I could just use go there and let all my feelings out. Didn't have to talk about anything, didn't have to think about anything that was going on.
Growing up knowing the Locke family and being family friends with them, I was very aware of Sean's passing, and just being able to see the impact of his passing on other people, I was able to be aware of how to deal with mental health and just be more comfortable.
Losing my grandma at a young age and my childhood friend recently, I felt like a part of me just left. That's really it. It was hard without seeing them every day no more.
It was my 6th grade year. It was COVID. COVID just hit and we were in quarantine, and I got a call from my mom saying that my cousin passed away in a bike accident. He brought a lot of joy to our family. He walked in the room, everybody started smiling. He was just a cool person to be around. I do play for him a lot. We didn't really share basketball, but he was always in the stands for me when I needed him.
When my grandmother passed away in my 8th grade year, it was definitely a very hard time for me because my grandmother was my biggest supporter when it came to sports. Her passing away was a loss to everyone, and so I felt like grieving with my family definitely helped me, feel my emotions and get through that hard time. Basketball helps me get through it because it just reminded me of her and how much she loved watching me play. She just loved supporting me, and I feel like knowing that I was playing the game that she loved to watch me play, it made me feel a lot better.
Sean was truly an amazing athlete, not only just an amazing person, but he would always say hi to everyone, but on the court he was just a force. Amazing I can be on the court to showcase the love I have for others and the love I had for Sean.
After I saw the impact that Sean's room was having on so many Spartans, we had the idea to do more Sean's rooms.
People will go to Sean's room just to do their homework or sit down and relax to get out of class, sometimes just to grab a snack and reset your day.
If we can get through to 5, 10, 15 kids, get their anxiety under control, it will spare them the pain and suffering that I went through as an active alcoholic. Mental health has to be the thing that they put first every day that they get out of bed.
Who will he grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. so he can grow up to be whoever he wants to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
Oh. This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
I've had depression since I was around 6 years old. I noticed it kind of in myself as a young child, as being uninterested in what other kids were doing around me, or even sometimes just not feeling like I belonged or not feeling like I was wanted in my family or in my school or in my community. Eventually this evolved into what we know as depression, right? I've had multiple bouts of depression throughout my life. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's not as present, but there is always kind of a looming threat that I could go into a depressive episode again, which is not fun. Obviously, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, and there's a lot of self-care and self-maintenance that comes with that as well. Biggest sign when I'm in a depressive mood is like anhedonia, which is this loss of interest in things that normally I'm interested in. It can look like me sleeping a lot. It can look like me not wanting to hang out with my friends. It can look at like me taking off from work or not really being motivated to push myself to either make money or work on my personal projects. Sometimes these symptoms are really hard to pick up on. It's not something that I share often with people when I'm feeling in that mood, but I'm lucky to have a good support system around me that can notice when I'm in those moods or notice when my symptoms are flaring up and be able to support me through those times. It's a real disease, and it's something that people struggle with every day. It's all about one day at a time, right? What can I do today that might not be me working at my full potential, but me providing what I can in this very moment? And just maintaining that mindset until you're out of that mood is the key towards achieving while also maintaining your wellness and making sure you're taking care of yourself.
Partnerships built on relationships. That's our motto at CBM Insurance, and those words guide everything we do. We provide the best possible service experience because our focus is on the relationship first. When you join CBM, you join a team with an average of 20 years in the insurance industry, long-standing relationships with our carrier partners, and deep roots in our community. We stand ready to be your trusted partner and insurance advisor.
An SL24 team is a collaboration between SL24 and a high school or teen-based organization. It can look like what you need it to look like. You can meet once a month or once a week. As long as you have young people who have a voice that needs to be heard and you are dedicated to making changes within your community, you've got an SL24 team.
Taking on this leadership role has taught me that change doesn't need to be loud or perfect. It honestly should just be meaningful and come from the heart. I've taken this difference and made sure that I can be somebody who they can rely on with things that are bothering them or with things that they just want to talk about their day with.
We give teens an opportunity to make their voices heard, to educate, assist, and support their communities, and to feel empowered to make changes that they think need to happen.
I took on the role as Newark Charter's SL24 team captain to make sure that all students feel safe and supported. We want to make sure that all students feel as though they can have someone to lean on when they're going through good times and also have bad times.
I'm so proud of the student leaders that we've assembled in all of these different spaces. They're so motivated to make changes within their community, and they really have something to say.
I've seen more popular kids been able to come and talk to about it, quiet kids that are coming to the tables and talking, and I've seen a lot of people that are more happy about it.
Teens are the ones who are experiencing the problems first. Teens are the ones who are experiencing the harmful effects of rumors, who are noticing how negative social media makes them feel and how quickly a post can ruin their self-image.
I just want to be someone who people can rely on, to know that if they're going through a hard time, they can lean on me. And I just want to be a positive impact in everyone's lives.
As much as I love Sean's Room, you don't need to have a Sean's Room in your school to make changes in your school culture, to address the issues in mental health that you're seeing.
I think you're never too small or too new to make a difference. I think every day that I walk into school, I have the opportunity to change someone's lives. It could be one person, it could be 20 people, and I have no idea what I'm doing, but you never know what just starting something could do. It can make one person's day better, and that's truly the difference that means the most. It doesn't matter the space that you're in, it just matters the people that you're with.
People think it's really cool, and a lot of people now want to join, because at first nobody knew what Sean's House was really at our school. They were more worried about like the other clubs at our school that weren't as popular, but now that we've had lots more events, a lot of people want to join it, and we've had a lot of people reaching out wanting to join.
My SL24 team is the most important thing to me in the world. I come home to my family at dinner and I talk about it. I talk about it to my neighbors, to my friends at dance. I talk about it all day, every day. It's so special to me, and I just want to make sure that everyone feels loved and supported.
I think every school should have an SL24 team because it's just a very comfortable setting in the school. It makes people more open and nobody's as scared to talk before. If people had a event, or like not an event, a team, people would be more comfortable to talk about their mental health.
If you're looking to start an SL24 team, please reach out to me at emily@unlockthelight.com for more information. I'd love to give you the tools you need to get started. We have a welcome packet and lots of resources, and we can also bring a SL24 representative to your school to have these conversations with your students.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by DSM Commercial, HFM Advisors, Jersey Mike's, and by Nemours.
And welcome back live out of the break here at the SL24, the 8th annual SL24 live here at the Wilmington and Chase Fieldhouse. Nick Alstrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon here for a full day of games and game 2 out of 5. And coach, how about this one? Back and forth all first half long. We're going to check out the highlights. Both teams showing up here on the offensive side of the ball.
Nick, it's been a game of runs. Conrad got off to a great start. Odessa took the lead at the first quarter. They expanded that lead. Conrad fought back. Their open court offense has been excellent. Their man-to-man aggression has paved the way for them to create a lot of turnovers for Odessa. Odessa's battled back, made some good, tough inside shots. I've been very impressed with their freshman point guard. He really runs the show. But Vinny Starr has been terrific for Conrad, especially on some steals, his energy, and his defense.
Here you see some of the highlights from our first half of action. It was the Red Wolves that got out to that early lead. There's Bartkowski, a few putbacks, and then Odessa starting to find their stride there in the second quarter. Warfield, the team's leading scorer, finding a few buckets. That one there underneath. And Turk Wilborn able to kick out here to Aiden Scott. He had a few threes, including that big one to close out the first half.
He certainly has, but he's the recipient of those really great passes by the freshman. The coach's son does a nice job of distributing. He runs this club. Interestingly enough, Bartkowski did not come back in the first half after that lower body injury, but the bench for Conrad, I thought, did a really good job stabilizing, not making any mistakes, and being positive influences on the court.
We've got a good one here in our second of the day, and now third quarter just moments away from getting underway. 27-22 lead for Conrad over Odessa. Right here as we're about to begin second half action. Again, it's day 2 here for the 8th annual SL24, and we've got how you can donate. You're going to see a QR code again at your point there throughout the day. Make sure you scan that. That'll take you to where you need to be to donate. And there are, of course, a bunch of other ways to donate as well. You can head on over to unlockthelight.com, but there it is. There's that QR code. Scan it there, and that'll take you to where you need to be to make an impact. Here we go, third quarter underway, 27-22, Conrad leading Odessa, and now we have a special guest who's getting her suited up here. Natalie Rulio, appreciate you joining us here, our official SL24 sideline reporter. Been seeing some of the interviews, great job by the way, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, I'm happy to be here.
So a fun day of basketball here. Vinny Scott short on the 3 to get started here in the third quarter, but you had some great interviews yesterday in those 2 games, and now here we back are on a Saturday, full slate today. How was it for you getting after it last night with some of those interviews for the 2 teams? I saw one with Mia Lang, New York Charter, they got a big victory, and then the Spartans able to get one after.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Talking to Mia Lang, kicking off the night and the whole weekend. This being my first ever Classic, it was really awesome to get the students' perspectives and watch an amazing game. Yeah, Mia was so inspirational. I got to meet her on media night, which was amazing, so I was really happy I got to also talk to her after the game last night, and the amazing game that she played. But it's been just really great talking to all the students after each game and kind of just taking it all in.
It'll be Warfield at the free throw line, able to knock it down, and cuts the deficit to 4 for the Odessa Ducks. So Conrad and Odessa here in game number 2, and Natalie, you only started with SL24 30 days ago, so just talk to me about what you've seen in your 30 days. What's it been like?
I mean, yeah, it feels like a lot longer than 30 days, so it is crazy. Short time, but it's definitely having a long impact on me. And it's been great just working with the team, working with SL24. It's really been motivating, and they let me do so much. They trust me, and knowing these people for only 30 days, it just feels like I've known them forever. Everyone's so supportive every time I'm in the house, doing something, making content. It's been really great to get my ideas out there and kind of collaborate with the team in general. That a lot.
Whistle on a foul underneath on Watson, I believe here. Or no, excuse me, it's going to go against Conrad. I believe Anton James is going to get whistle. Watson will head to the free throw line for Odessa. And so talk a little bit about the sideline reporter role. Is that something that you've always wanted to do? How did that come about here for the Classic? Whose idea was that to get going? Did you come and be like, hey, I'm ready to do some sideline here this weekend? Or how did that whole position come to be?
Well, I wish I had the idea, the awesome idea, but it was actually Zach. And it was just mid-interview for the internship. The sideline reporting bit wasn't really part of it. I was just going to be helping out with the Classic in general and the communications, media behind the scenes. But then in the interview, Zach just had this amazing idea, and he was like, we should totally have a sideline reporter. And then we're kind of just bringing it to life now this weekend. It's been really great. We're just kind of, it's the first time we've ever been able to do this for the Classic, and I'm just really happy that I can be a part of it and kind of bring Zach's idea to life. And it's been going better than we ever could expected.
Yeah, it's been great. We've seen the interviews, and again, now that you've done it this year, you're going to have to come back every year now and be the sideline reporter, the official one.
I need to come back. We're already talking about next year.
Natalie, is there a person in broadcasting that you're interested in and that you've modeled your style after?
Well, no one specifically. I've never actually been involved with sports before. This is my first time getting a little behind the scenes into that, so I've been really enjoying sports broadcasting. But other than that, I work at the news club at the University of Delaware, so I've been more news-based than sports, so this is a first for me, and it's just been really exciting to learn a lot more about it, and the fast-paced environment overall is just very thrilling for me. So,
are you a communications major?
I am, and I'm concentrating on media, journalism, and political science on my minors as well. So I just like kind of getting my feet in the water into sports this weekend, and it's been so much more fun than I could have ever imagined.
Good for you. Are you from this area originally?
No, I'm from Allentown, New Jersey originally, but I'm a senior at UD now, so familiar with the Newark area, Wilmington, but yeah.
So what happens next year?
Well, we'll see. I'm graduating this May. I have an internship in the spring in New York City, so I'll be commuting there while also taking my classes, and then we'll see where that takes me post-grad. Where this takes me post-grad, just kind of getting all the experience I can with the last few months of college for me.
Can you tell us who the internship is with?
Yes, I have an internship with Fox News in the spring.
Fox News, terrific.
Yes. Yeah, I'll be working with Fox News Edge, and I'm really excited for that. So that's another element of broadcasting and media that I'm going to get to experience that I haven't had experience with before. So I'm just really appreciative of having so many different opportunities back to back.
So I want to know how you're going to do the commute. Will you drive? Will you train?
I will drive home, and then I will take the train. Some weeks I'll take the Amtrak in Wilmington, figuring it out. But I think that every week might be a little bit different just because of my class schedules. They happen to be either really early in the morning or late at night. So but I'll be commuting there 3 days a week when I'm not doing classes.
Well, best of luck to you. Enjoy the big city.
Thank you so
Coach,
much.
any tips for Natalie on the big city? I know you've got some in there in your back pocket.
Yeah, what's your experience in the city?
Well, I lived there for 17 years.
Okay, well, I'll take any advice I can get.
Don't let it overwhelm you.
I know.
And I think that's what happens to people when they first get there. There is so much energy, and there's obviously so many people, and there's so much going on. I think it's almost like you become a little overwhelmed, but just relax into it, enjoy the moment. Certainly you have a really neat opportunity. There are lots of ways to get around. I'm a big train guy. I took the train all the time, so I'm a huge Amtrak fan. And it is
I'm used to the NJ Transit, but I've never taken the Amtrak
Silver
yet.
Bullets. You took the Silver Bullets.
Yes.
I've been on the Silver Bullets a few times too.
But I mean, yeah, the reputation of the city that never sleeps, it is a little intimidating, but I'm really excited to get out there. And
you'll be fine. The greatest thing is you're going to meet a lot of interesting people. There are a lot of fantastic restaurants. There's a lot of live music. I hope you like that.
Yeah.
There's just so many things to do, and there's so many interesting people to meet. The challenge is great. Just don't let it overwhelm you, because when everybody goes there for the first time, they're just like you.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd make it one day.
Really?
And then day one turned into day two, and then somehow I made it to day three, and then 17 years later.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I'm confident. I think it's going to be an experience. It's going to be great. I mean, I think that navigating the city while you're young is the best time to do it and get out there, but I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous about the commute, doing it alone.
Oh, you'll be
but,
fine. The worst thing is just the delays.
Yes.
And that isn't part of anything you can control.
I
so
know.
you just try to make it as easy as possible, but I'm sure you'll navigate it. The ease of communications, I was just talking to somebody the other day about the subway system. I used to travel in the subways quite a bit.
I just learned it. My dad taught me.
Well, back in the day, if the train was late, they would have some ridiculous message that nobody in the world could understand.
Oh, no.
So you just sat there. Now, on your phone, you can find out exactly when the train's coming. You can pay. You don't need tokens anymore. You can pay with your iPhone or whatever phone you have. There's the Metro card. I mean, the ease of doing these things.
Card anymore.
That is correct.
Oh
and I think you'll also benefit from the congestion issue they've been having. They've actually, Hochul and the mayor at the time did a pretty good job with that, and I think it's paid off dividends. It's a lot saner in there now than it was prior to the congestion policy. As you know, they've been, at certain times of the day, they increase the amount of money that it takes to drive around in Newark and also come in through the tunnels and the bridges.
Yeah. Well, I'll wish me luck.
I don't think you'll need.
They
I don't
definitely
think
made it
you'll
a
need
lot
luck.
easier for me. I'm glad it's now.
You won't need luck. The only bad time is when it rains. It's very
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have an
And don't buy
umbrella.
any of those cheap umbrellas they sell you on the street, because they immediately
no.
fold up in the first second. But
Yeah, no, I'll have to have my umbrella prepped and ready.
you'll do fine.
All right, thank you.
Zion Reddick on the putback there, off of the Wilburn miss. So we got a good one, 33-32, 4:50 to go in the third. Nick Galsadrini alongside the coach, Bill Harmon, and Natalie Rulio, our official sideline reporter here for the weekend at the SL24. And Natalie, this weekend you've been able to give players a voice, and why is that so important?
I think it's so important to give players a voice. Not only are they students, I mean, I'm a student myself. And I mean, this really is about them. They're the ones who are coming here, showing up. And on media night, speaking to a couple of them as well, this is the biggest game of a lot of their seasons, and they prepare for this like no other. And we know with the snow and everything that came, like there's a lot of nerves about what was going to happen this weekend, but I mean, here everyone is showing up and showing out. I mean, the game going on right now, it could not be closer, and it's just back and forth, but it's just amazing to see them play and really just hear their stories and why they're here, what's motivating them. It's something that I've been asking them, like, what's motivating you on the court tonight and today? And I just like been loving to hear their answers and the why behind everything. And just obviously what SL24, Sean's house, it's to elevate, youth mental health, and everything falls into it. Everything plays a huge role into this. So not only just highlighting the youth in this event, but overall with their mental health and hearing from them really adds to the story.
Cannot agree more, and we've seen your amazing social videos here since you've been a part of Sean's house, so you spent a lot of time there this month with the team. So what have you learned, being there for those last 30 days and spending so much time at Sean's house and being here at the SL24 and doing all that you do? What has it taught you? Have you learned anything here during your time?
Yeah, well, can I just say it's been so much fun getting to make videos at the house and just being in the house in general. I was really obviously nervous my first time going in for the internship, but the first day, talking to everyone, meeting everyone, it felt like I know them for so long, and everyone just worked so well together. It's collaborative, supportive, and what I love about being in Sean's house and like working there with everyone this winter was that there's always someone there, and whether they're just hanging out or doing some hard work, I mean, being in the rut of all the preparation for the Classic, it's been a lot of fun, but it's never a dull moment in the house. And I've just learned a lot to, you know, as serious as everything that we are doing, it's important to not take things so seriously at the same time and, you know, not be afraid to share ideas, whether it's, you know, you might think it's a little silly or something. I've just been really comfortable in the house, and working with everyone has just been a dream. So I'm just happy that I've been able to like showcase my skills and gain a lot more skills throughout the way.
So right after we finish up this one, I mean, we have you for the third quarter here. Are you going to then roll over and get ready for your post game? Is that what you got here on tap for this one? What's in line for your sideline reporter duties here for the rest of the day?
Yeah, so I mean, after the third quarter, I'm gonna get some more B-roll pics and footage from the fourth quarter, and then go over and talk to some players. I talked to the coaches prior, kind of just to see like, you know, who's like dynamic players. You know, like hear a little bit from the coaches beforehand. And then we'll see the results of this game and then go over and talk to the winners.
Big three on the far side, that time off the hands of the senior George Nelson, 37-35. What a third quarter. Can Vinny Scott answer around and out? That one was halfway down. And now the Ducks pull out the rebound, trying to go quickly, and an extra step will prevent them from doing so. They'll turn it over with 2:40 to go here in the third quarter.
I'm especially excited for this game, talking to the students after, because what a close game it's been.
Yeah. Again, a couple of our other actions. You check out the replay here into the corner. Smooth stroke that time from George Nelson. And yeah, a few of the other games, we had some teams get out ahead maybe and kind of ride that big lead to some victories. Not here in this one. As Conrad and Odessa step for step with each other here to this point in the third. On the baseline, hammered on the way up, so some free throws coming for the Red Wolves. Courtesy of Jordan Kennedy, who was fouled on the baseline. And there's that QR code. Scan it right now, pull out your phone. Scan that QR code, it'll take you to the donation page. That is the easiest way to donate, the easiest way to make an impact right there on your screen. Scan that QR code, and maybe you got your laptop sitting around instead of a cell phone here in 2026. Who knows? You never know. And if that's the case, head on over to unlockthelight.com/donate. Again, unlockthelight.com/donate. Have you checked out any of the auction stuff going on so far here at the silent auction?
Yes, I have. I mean, I worked closely with the auction.
Oh,
and
so
with
you know
Ange.
firsthand.
Oh my goodness, the auction items, like there's nothing that's bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just deciding what to bid on is like the craziest part. There's too many
You
options.
just have to bid on it all, I guess. If I lose, I lose, but at least I tried, right?
At least you tried.
So Michael Jordan said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right, Coach?
Yeah, you can bid on a lot and you might get outbid, but you never know what you might win.
Watson inside, nice feed, and he's able to finish it off for the Ducks.
I think that's the philosophy, not Michael Jordan, but of people that miss a lot of shots. Nick, this Conrad team has really done a nice job of stabilizing with their set offense. Chris McLean, their veteran head coach, does a nice job of keeping them organized. They run a lot of horn sets. They do a nice job in their 5 out, their 4 around 1, and the ability to have several point guards, Starr and Kennedy, makes them very versatile and very difficult to defend.
How about that pass? Bounce pass on the money down the lane to Anthony Rodriguez. Beautiful feed. And Conrad able to get one to go. They have a 1-possession 3-point lead. A minute and a half to go here, quarter number 3. Nick Allison joining the coach, Bill Harmon, and Natalie Rulio, our SL24 sideline reporter, as Watson up and over for the field goal. Timeout on the floor. We'll stay right here. 1:22 to go, third quarter, on game number 2 of 5. Here through the rest of our day 2 of the SL24. Still lots of action to come your way. Ursuline and Friends coming up a little bit later on after the conclusion of this one. 2 teams that are in the top 10 for girls basketball. That is going to be a good one. And then a little bit later on, St. George's and Smyrna. And then our finale tonight with Sally's and Sanford. So Natalie, you'll be hardly working all day today, huh? All the way till that final finale at 8 o'clock.
I know, and I heard that's going to be a great game as well. I'm
It's a
excited
buzz.
for
That's right.
it.
There's a buzz going around. I've been hearing about it since I walked in as well. Hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah, it's tradition to have that game last every year,
That's right.
apparently.
And over at the University of Delaware, we've got a Sanford Warrior, Jaden Taylor, the freshman, getting some action in with the Delaware Blue Hens. So how have you liked your time at the University of Delaware?
Oh my goodness, I've loved the University of Delaware so much. Never regretted my decision once, but it's been amazing. The friends I've made, the experiences I've got, just being involved wherever I can. I absolutely love it, but as a spring senior, it is definitely upsetting. Start class on Monday, but I'm not ready for it to be over. I just know it's going to go really fast, so just trying to cherish every moment while I can.
That is the right attitude for sure. A 1-point game here late in the third. And now some full court pressure from the Ducks. Best game of the weekend so far here between Odessa and Conrad. And that one knocked out of play. Well, staying with the Red Wolves with some more pressure from Odessa.
Well, Odessa's done a nice job with their man-to-man. They're very physical. They press up. They force the ball into the short side of the court. They're quick and long and very active with their hands.
Vinny Starr to inbound and a quick whistle as Shire Stewart, I think, called for the grab. And that's going to be the 5th or 6th team foul here. We're going to walk the floor. We're going to get some free throws. Now for the Red Wolves here with 1:19 to go in the third.
Ed Aiken, the veteran official, got that one from the weak side, the wraparound foul. Eddie does a lot of different things, a football official as well as basketball. He's part of the Maxwell Cup, a really good friend of mine, and he's really one of the good guys in the business.
Absolutely right, as this free throw for Kenny is up and in. He officiated with my grandfather way back when for years and years, and had a chance actually on the sideline at Delaware this year to see Mr. Aiken down there. He said Conference USA gave him a call, asked me when to get back into it, and he's helping them out as well. So yeah, he's having himself a busy career still at this point. A shout out to Mr. Aiken. And again, while we are on the subject here with Mr. Aiken and our officials, let's get you the list of our officials for today's action. We have Irv McGee, Haram Watney, and of course Ed Aiken. Watson downhill, makes the extra pass underneath, shot rejected. Good defense from Justin Webb, but it was back into the hands of a Duck, and now a whistle and a foul. Kennedy in disbelief.
Though Conrad is not particularly big, they are quick off the floor. They have good timing on their block shot attempts, and they have everyone that's going to try to affect or cancel your shot inside. Chris McLean really coaches that up. Team defense do a great job of coalescing around the basket and making it very difficult to finish inside unless you are superior height-wise and physicality.
Free throw up and good on Watson on the first. Another one coming up here in a moment as you check out cheerleading section for Odessa. They were bringing it earlier, bringing the noise from that side. Then we've got Conrad here on this side. Jim feeling that energy here in our second game of the day. And Coach, if I had to ask you a question, where will I be going as soon as this game ends?
You're going to the merch.
I'm going to the merch table. You got it, Coach. You know me
right.
better than anybody. And now, Natalie, have you had a chance to get some of your Sean's House gear?
I have, and I don't want to brag or anything, but I got the light blue Sean's House crew neck.
How many times, Coach, am I going to hear about this light blue crew neck that's sold out?
Well, you sold me on it too, Nick. I may have to get over there as well.
Well, yeah, you can order it online now, but sizes small, medium, and large sold out last night, day one.
Oof.
Just crazy.
Those new drops, I'll tell you, everybody wants the new gear. And I don't blame them. They're very, very good-looking stuff over there. Whips it out, Starr, jab step, trying to get inside. Off of 2 feet, puts it in with the right hand. Nice move inside for Vinny Starr amongst the trees. And Conrad with a 3-point lead winding down the third here, 22 seconds.
Conrad using a little bit of a delay tactic there. Shot it a little bit earlier than maybe they wanted to, but Starr was able to connect. Now they give up a 3 at the other end, though.
Jair Stewart, coach, left wide open.
Odessa shot the ball very well from long range. They have several different shooters, and the awareness of the court spacing, they've done a great job of that.
At the buzzer for Starr, would have counted if it went, it does not. And how about this? We are all tied at 44 apiece as we head to quarter number 4. Natalie Rulio, really appreciate you joining us here courtside, and you're gonna have a good interview after this one. It's gonna be a good finish for game number 2. Thank you so much.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Natalie Rulio here, our official SL24 sideline reporter. We're through 3 quarters of action. To the fourth we go, all tied at 44. We'll be right back with the final quarter between the Ducks and the Red Wolves.
Who will he grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. So, he can grow up to be whoever he wants to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub.
Hey, that's my line. A sub above.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by ABHA Architects, Buffalo Wild Wings, Lang Cares Foundation, and by Kevin and Marion Healy.
And welcome back live to the fourth. We go through three great quarters between the Ducks and the Red Wolves, Conrad and Odessa. Game number 2 on a Saturday of the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach, Bill Harmon. As Watson gets inside and a chance for an and one to start the quarter for Odessa. That breaks the tie and a chance of the old-fashioned three-point play for number 23 in gold. And he's having himself a nice afternoon.
Jarvis Watson, the junior for Coach Wilburn, has been very impressive. He's got good footwork inside, plays at a nice pace, is physical enough and has those long arms to be able to elevate and finish through contact. He's been very effective inside, especially without the injured Carter Barkowski.
Has not returned, Coach, as you mentioned, since that early fall. Gave him a couple quick buckets, some big rebounds, but unfortunately haven't been able to see him since. Free throws good for Watson, and the old-fashioned three-point play converted, 47-44 Odessa. Vinny Starr showing off the handles, trying to get downhill. Watson got a piece of it as he got near the basket. Rebound falls into the hands of Anthony Rodriguez. He couldn't finish, and now Aiden Scott trying to pull it out of the pile, and he does. Headsy play there, able to knock it out of bounds was Kennedy, who will stay with Odessa. A special shout out to Allie Burns and Natalie Rulio, who joined us here as our guests in the second and third quarter. And again, with each guest we have, we get more and more impressed, it seems like, Coach, with everyone we talk to. And that just goes to show you how good of an organization and how well structured and how impressive the SL24 is as a whole.
Well, you're absolutely right. They get really great people involved in it who understand exactly what the cause is and all the hard work that goes into it. Natalie, working for Fox as an internship in New York, I give her a lot of credit having to commute up 3 days into her last semester of her college. She's looking forward to the future, and I'm sure she's going to be very successful. Best of luck to her.
Warfield kicks it out. Wilbur, catch and shoot three, got it. Nothing but net for Turk Wilbur, the freshman, with a big shot there. Now Odessa all of a sudden up 6 with 6:45 to go.
The long-range shooting of Odessa has been the big difference. They have done a great job of sharing the ball, spacing the court, getting themselves excellent opportunities.
Starr with a huge answer. Again, waiting for some of those threes to fall. We know he's got it, and that time in the corner, fading away. Tough shot from the perimeter. He knocks it home, able to answer the three on the other side. And we're back to a three-point game, 50-47, 6:33 to go. This one's been back and forth all afternoon. It's been a fun one.
It certainly has, and I love the teamwork of both clubs. They've done a nice job of sharing the ball. They've spaced the court extremely well. Vinny Starr knows exactly where to get his spots, and they find him in that deep corner. He's devastating from there when he's on.
Well, now let's find our guy, Barnett Harris, roaming around here at the Chase Fieldhouse. Barnett, where are you at?
Where is Barnett, a.k.a. where is Waldo? I am here next to our new drop. I have with us a quarter zip that looks kind of good. Ooh. Coach Harmer, I think you're a quarter zip guy. I think you could sport one of these in the navy color. And I have one of the crew necks that are flying off the shelves.
That's Nick's favorite.
It is.
Now,
Guilty.
Now, Nick, what do you think I look better in?
Oh, Barnett, either one. You look good in both of them. Your choice.
I'm. You know what? I might just get both.
I think that's the correct answer, is to get both. I mean, you're seeing some of the merch on your screen right now: hats, dry fits, long sleeves. I've seen some of the new hoodies around. I know our guy Jimmy has one on upstairs. We saw that one earlier, and we just talked about me making my way out there, Barnett. As soon as this game concludes, you're going to see me hop up out of the seat, jacket still on. I'm running right over to the merch table before something else sells out.
I agree, and there's nothing better than getting some merch after a game like this. Coach Harmon, Nick, I know you guys are doing a great call, by the way, let me just add. But this has been such an intense game. It makes me want to sue Delaware High School sports so I can get some years left, some eligibility left, so I can jump out on the court for Odessa or Conrad here. But you guys are doing a great call. I'm going to go get me some more merch, and then maybe I'll see you later. Where's Barnett going next?
Shout out to Barnett Harris, our guy playing free safety today. What a job there, getting you updated on the march. What a job by Watson, and another one for number 23, Jarvis Watson. A chance of the old-fashioned three-point play once again here as Odessa starting to string together some buckets late. But Barnett, coach, good to have him roaming around here with some of that. We've got to get you one of those quarter zips.
I may have to. I'm surprised Barnett doesn't get 2 or 3 of those things.
That's right.
He's very active. But this Jarvis Watson's been really impressive to me. He's a left shoulder turner, a right-hander, does a good job of being relentless in his approach. If he misses a shot, he doesn't give up on it. What you've got to do as a defensive rebounder on those close-in shots, you've got to learn to block out and snap your head around, or the offensive player will get that rebound on the short miss.
And here we go, coach. 6 minutes to go in the ball game. 53-47. Conrad trying to get a bucket here. Kennedy missed an offensive rebound to Rodriguez. They're tied up underneath. This is going to be a jump ball, and possession arrow keeps it with Conrad. So as Conrad got out to the early lead in the ball game, they lose Bartkowski early, but it's been a fourth quarter run from Odessa that has them up 6.
And there's the Americas play that Odessa adjusted to. Star out of bounds. Kennedy would have been the would-be passer. They lift out of that flat 1-4 on the front side. Coach McClain does a really good job with a lot of different sets and several really well-constructed out-of-bounds plays.
Whistle on a foul underneath. It's going to send Jordan Kennedy, the senior, to the free throw line for Conrad here as the Red Wolves trailing by 6. A 2-possession game, as this one has been close throughout. First free throw for Kennedy is short.
Kennedy is typically a very good free throw shooter, their second one in volume because of how he drives. He gets straight line drives. He's effective around the basket with offensive rebounds. He and Starr can handle and share the ball handling duties, so that allows one of them to play off the ball. But I'll tell you what, he can be dynamic. When he gets that opportunity to get a step by you, he's as good as anybody at finishing around the basket for a guard.
Rare empty trip for Kennedy at the free throw line. Odessa now with possession here, under 6 to go, up by 6. In a game that looks like it might come down to the wire. Warfield kicks. This is going to be a 3. Short off the hands of George Nelson. And again, you talked about the lines in the perimeter here at the Fieldhouse, Coach. G League, so you have 2. Can be a little confusing sometimes. Is it for Starr? The 3 is up. Won't get the shooter's roll that time. Warfield with a big rebound.
Well, it can be confusing, but more importantly, you just have to know exactly where your range is. And if you look down and you see where you are, just move yourself, pass the ball again, get into a better position, because these are going to be big possessions down the stretch here. As Odessa has done a nice job of controlling the clock. The point guard, Wilburn, does a nice work with that aspect of the game.
Beautiful find to Warfield. Couldn't knock down the mid-range jumper. Missed now to the hands of Kennedy, who leads it up for Conrad. Kennedy a little hezzy, trying to get inside, using the body, can't make, or misses the layup. But a whistle and a foul. They're going to get contact on Jair Stewart, I believe, as the Odessa Ducks are lobbying for the push-off. But Kennedy here, a little dribble, using the shoulder, using that body to power himself inside, earns himself another trip to the line.
I love that play by Jordan Kennedy. I'll tell you what, that is a tough guy senior play. He knew he could get, he had the matchup, he got his hips by, he used his shoulder in the inside part of his body. Now he's got to be able to convert it to free throw line. This is very unusual for Jordan, and sometimes it could be the backdrop, because typically he's a guy, along with Starr for Conrad, that knows how to close out a game from the foul line.
And we mentioned it, rare empty trip last time, misses the first one here. And definitely rare for Jordan Kennedy, but you mentioned it, shooting right up into that mezzanine area. A lot of The fans up there checking out the action, packed up there again here already on a Saturday.
Kennedy's made over 40 foul shots this season. Only Starr with 59 has more, and that shows you just how impactful they are in the game of driving, especially in the in-game ability. If there is a favorite here in the end game, Odessa in games decided by 5 points or less is 5-1, and Conrad is 1-2. So favor, at least on paper, Odessa.
Odessa, they're looking good here, and as I say that, the old broadcaster's jigs, the turnover on cue thrown away.
When you have the lead, 6-point lead, you have timeouts remaining, you just need to play within yourself. Don't force the action. Get a really good shot down every time. Run some of the clock off. Play to your strengths. Play to your best players. They've been very successful with the pick and roll, getting Watson some good looks inside.
That one almost stolen. Kennedy able to go re-corral it. And again, if you're Kennedy, just dealing with a little bit maybe of the mental here after the few missed free throws, but not here, not shy, and that's why Jordan Kennedy off the dribble. Gotta love that confidence from beyond the arc after missing 4 free throws. No problem, let me knock down this one from beyond the arc.
I love that confidence of the young man. He is a really savvy, tough-minded competitor. They switched the ball screen, and Kennedy knew exactly how to take advantage of it.
And another turnover for Odessa, back-to-back turnovers for the Ducks, and now Red Wolves with possession. 4 minutes to go, now a one-possession game once again, 53-50. And some pressure now for the Ducks.
Thinking Odessa might have wanted to use a timeout there just to kind of stabilize things, calm everybody down, get into the time score situation that all coaches really need to emphasize, especially in high school.
Here's Starr, lets it rip. Off the mark, but a whistle and a foul off the ball here as we take you back to the last 3 here for Kennedy. Here off the dribble after missing the free throws, no problem. Hand in the face, elevates and buries it.
Little crossover. What you've got to do as the defender there, especially if you're a big switching on to a little, you've got to get up on him. You've got to make him a vertical dribbler, not a horizontal one, as he was able to stabilize his body, was Kennedy, with that crossover dribble.
Timeout on the floor, 3:44 to go in this one. We got a one-possession game, a great one between Odessa and Conrad, and I'm sure we'll have some great ones to follow here through the rest of the evening. Mike Corey will be stepping in to finish us off. Ursuline and Friends at 4 o'clock, Smyrna and St. George's at 6 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock the finale, Sally's and Sanford coming up a little bit later on. But now back to the task at hand, 53-50, 3:44 to go, a one-possession game between the Ducks and the Red Wolves.
Without Barkowski, they'll play some 4-around-1. They'll get some ball screens. What they're really going to do is rely on their guards to create some situations here, either with space or the ability to split and kick.
Starr calling for it, off a screen, able to recover on the other side was Stewart. Starr now. Turns the corner, gets past Watson, was hit from behind, stumbles a little bit, and that whistle will result in a foul.
Odessa defended the flare screen, which is a back screen where they try to skip the ball over the top to a scorer, in that case Starr, who's really accurate from long range. And then they went with a regular ball screen. Starr came off and did not get doubled. They singled it, so it was a big on Starr, and that created the foul as he tried to drive down the lane.
Kennedy now setting up the offense here. Conrad down 3 as they work it around the perimeter. Ramirez, little jab step. Looking for Kennedy on the back door. It's covered up as they work it back around. Webb now, the man on the baseline. Webb elevates, jump shot, too long, rebound battled for, and a strong rebound for Zion Reddick, quickly into the hands of Stewart. And now Wilburn will walk it up as the Ducks get a stop-up 3.
They ought to run their ball screen action, which has been very successful. They're going to run a little horns here, some screening, a zipper, and then play it to the freshman. They ought to use a timeout because that could be a turnover when he's down on the ground.
Odessa, a few consecutive turnovers, as you mentioned. Maybe wanted to calm things down, but Aiden Scott now going to try to initiate the offense and instead runs into a forearm from Kennedy. And that's going to be a whistle and a foul against Conrad. Just the 3rd team foul against the Red Wolves.
They've got another one to give, though. Again, if you're going to go foul in that situation, go for the steal. Make it difficult for the ball handler. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a piece of the ball as you come through.
Here's Aiden Scott, a few big threes, including that one at the end of the first half, and now Watson has been kind of the go-to guy here late. Gets it to a teammate. He was sliding on the floor, and that's going to be a travel. So Scott was hitting the deck as the ball was leaving the hands of
Nick,
Watson,
they're
I
going to
believe.
give a timeout prior, and I'll
me,
tell
I
you what, you were
apologize.
right. He slid, and that is definitely a walk. But they're going to rule that the timeout was called before it happened.
Yeah, so they'll take a break. 2:17 to go. Still 53-50. What a game between Conrad and Odessa. And now, again, here's your chance to check out the online auction. Again, we'll be up and running through tonight. Over 90 auction items all online at that auction page. And again, if you don't want to head to the auction, maybe not in the market for some of those, you can just donate straight up with that QR code on your screen right now. You can take out your phone, scan it, and make your donation, and then check out some of these items here for the virtual auction to bid on. I mean, over 90 autographed Jalen Hurts football, a 7-night vacation in Antigua. I mean, check out the restaurant packages. Coach, we were talking about the Platinum Dining Group back in the first game of the day. I know you were excited about that one.
Love their restaurants. They do a great job. They have great food. It's very consistent at a really smart price. They've got a lot of variety as well, and they're extremely well run.
Again, don't forget about that auction. Runs up until later on tonight. Cross-court feed, Odessa working it around. Stewart trying to get to the basket. He does. Stewart left-hand layups up and good.
Did a great job, did Zaire Stewart, of splitting the defense. There was no help rotated quick enough from the weak side. A nice heady play by the senior.
Big bucket there late in the fourth. Has now Odessa up 2 possessions. Red Wolves trying to find something offensively. Threw it away. Stewart looked up, found a gift, and now it leads to a transition opportunity, and the Ducks can't convert. Reddick left it long underneath, and it's going to lead to a tie-up. A jump ball, though, going to keep possession with the Odessa Ducks, who have that 5-point lead with just 1:37 to play.
You see it so often at every level of basketball. You get yourself a pretty easy look. You go up expecting to get fouled, and you don't, and the ball leaves your hands just too aggressively.
Reddick inside, no good. Watson is there. Might have been an and one, as he's lived with some of those here in the second half, but that time the bucket is good. He'll take it. 57-50. Odessa here late with 1:22 to go. Big offensive possession right now for the Red Wolves.
It certainly is. Stars running the show out of a horn set where they have 2 players up at the top. A flare screen that's very well defended.
Here's Kennedy, hit the last 3. Now they'll trap him up on the perimeter. Ball's loose. Can Star track it down? He does. Right on the sideline. Did he step out? And I believe a timeout, from Coach McLean, and probably a good one just to settle the Red Wolves back down with 1:05 to play.
Well, there was a play where it's so important to just secure a loose ball. Don't try to do anything with it. Grab the ball, possess it. The other team's going to have to come and foul you, especially in that clock situation. Chris McLean, the veteran coach, did a really good job of recognizing his team was not well organized. He needed to get the timeout to settle him down.
Odessa defense making it tough here. You check out the trap here on the perimeter. Almost came away with the steal, then Star tracks it down. And once again, Jair Stewart there in position to force the timeout. Odessa coach has really looked good here the last 3 or 4 minutes of this fourth quarter. Again, Conrad has led a lot of this ball game, but Odessa using this fourth quarter. Watson's been a big part of it. And
He's been their most valuable
7.
player, has Watson. He's been terrific inside. Now, he's getting an advantage without the big man for Conrad, who's been out for almost the entire game, Carter Barkowski, who left early in the first quarter. His reserves have played solidly, but he's been able to take advantage of it. Neither team has been involved in an overtime game this season. And as I mentioned, Odessa's been in some close games, and that seems to favor them a little bit about learning how to close things out. They lost to Tatnall by 6. They lost to a really good Smyrna team by 12, Sanford by 7, and had a great game with one of their rivals, Cape Henlopen, where they lost by 3.
Well, we wouldn't mind an overtime matchup here in game number 2. Let's see if we can get there. Uphill climb for Conrad with 1:05 to go, but they've got the basketball. Kennedy will have it here.
Odessa does not want to give up any threes. They want to contest every shot, make sure they don't foul. A really good one-on-one maneuver by Jordan Kennedy with that crossover dribble rising up into his jump shot in the mid-range.
Very nice mid-range jumper in the arsenal for Kennedy. Lead now to 5. Odessa. Stewart inside. Doesn't have to shoot it. Instead, Watson on the putback. He can't get it either. Conrad trying to clear it down 5. They do. They'll have 40 seconds to work with. Intercepted like Barnett playing free safety. Turk Wilborn picks it off, and it's going to lead to Watson finishing it and 1 the other side. Odessa trying to put a bow on this one late.
Conrad made the cardinal mistake of trying to throw the ball cross court with the defender back. Wilburn read that like a safety, sitting in the middle of the field, read the eyes, makes a huge interception, And they make a terrific pass underneath the finish. That might be the dagger here late. Just a ill-fated pass by Conrad, trying to push the ball too aggressively when they had a numbers advantage.
Watson has lived at the free throw line, shooting one all fourth quarter, unable to get it to go there. Still deficit at 7 for the Red Wolves. Star up the floor, gets an easy pocket all, spoke too soon. Kennedy couldn't finish it off underneath. A whistle and a foul after in the backcourt, and that will about do it as we'll walk the floor with 22.5 seconds. Some free throws coming up for the Ducks and a chance for them to seal it.
Well, Odessa was very fortunate there. After they missed that free throw, they're hanging around the rebound, and they should sprint back and make it very difficult for Conrad to get any look. They got a layup look and missed it, unfortunately, and then they did the smart thing to foul right away. I think Odessa's going to escape with this game primarily because of the inside play by Jarvis Watson and the quarterbacking of the team by the point guard, Wilburn, the freshman, the coach's son. He was terrific here. In a very quiet way, didn't score a lot, but really led them in a lot of ways.
Yeah, definitely a leader on the floor already at a young age, just a freshman, as Coach mentioned. Free throws here for Watson, 1 of 2. Rebound, though, tipped around, and Watson has it once again. I believe a quick foul here after the rebound to the Ducks, and more free throws coming for Watson, who's lived there here in the fourth quarter. But what a final half of the quarter. What a stretch here for Odessa as they're able to pull away late after trailing. And now the Ducks on their way to a victory, and you highlighted the records of both teams when these games have come down to the wire in close finishes, and you mentioned the Ducks have found more victories in those situations and on their way to another.
Well, they seem to find a way to close it out. The more close games you've been in, the more you learn. Coaches can only do so much in practice, where you'll practice these situational time score opportunities. Players have to learn it, but a lot of times you just got to be able to do it out on the court with the emotion of the moment. Give Odessa a lot of credit. They hit some big threes. Watson was really good inside. They've gotten to the free throw line more than Conrad has and been successful.
One more here for Watson, and he's got it. Double-digit lead now for the Ducks with 20 seconds and winding. Webb can't finish. Rebound here to Zion Reddick, and that will about do it in game 2 here on a Saturday, the 8th annual SL24. As the Odessa Ducks going for some style points there at the end, and they're going to get a 62-52 win here against the Conrad Red Wolves. And what a game, our best of the weekend so far between these two teams. It took 4 quarters to decide the victor. Odessa able to pull away late.
Coach Andre Wilburn's got to be very happy with his team. He's got 6 seniors, but really the freshman leads them, and then the junior big man inside, Jarvis Watson, was terrific. They found a way in the end game to close it out. Conrad just made a few too many mistakes. They're a really tough team. They're well coached. They run a lot of great sets. They've got some very physical players. I think the injury to Barkowski was a big factor in the game. Having said that, Odessa deserves a lot of credit for the victory, but Conrad will be around. They are a veteran club. They know how to play. They're very well coached, and I expect them to be deep into the tournament at times. Take care. Well done today, Nick.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Again, you see the Odessa bench there with the cheerleaders, and that's going to do it for us here in game number 2. 3 great games, though, the rest of the way to finish up the 8th annual SL24. Don't forget about that online auction. Don't forget about the merch. Again, we've got to break that record of $674,000. So for the coach, Bill Harmon, I am Nick Alcitrini. A shout out to all of our production team upstairs. There's that QR code for one last time here in this one. Mike Corey coming to you for the final 3 games. Again, thanks to everybody for tuning in to the 8th annual SL24. It rolls on here on a Saturday.